Hello, guys. I'm Rue from Pi Radio, and today I am here with a very, very special talent from Nigeria. He's an exquisite artist and firmly believes that he's the best love songwriter on the scene. He creates Afrofusion and melodic music, and his unique style blends different cultures and genres to create a familiar yet fresh sound. With no further ado, let's dive in and discover what sets him apart from the rest. It's a huge honor for me to introduce the one and only Magixx. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm great.
Great to
Feeling
hear. I heard you
feeling
sing before. Is this little unreleased music that we can expect?
nice. Definitely, like there's always music going on at the background, like always working on something new. While you guys are enjoying the current release, you know, we are back at the studio working on the next. So that's how it goes.
I definitely want to start by like throwing it all the way back to the early days. So I know that your journey began with you singing in a choir at the age of 10 years old, and now you're like
Mm.
a huge music sensation, which is obviously incredible. But for those who don't know your backstory, I would love to hear you elaborate a little bit more on how you first got started in the music industry.
For the music industry, I think music industry started for me when I got unveiled by Don Jazzy. But for music generally, like I've been like doing music for quite a while. I remember like doing choir, also like going to like a music school because my secondary school was a music school. So I remember like playing instruments in school. I learned how to play 3 instruments in school.
Okay.
Namely the trumpet, the mouth organ, and the recorder. And those were like the instruments I played in school. And fast forward to like my senior secondary school, then I was in a rap group type of, yeah, when I was in senior secondary school. And I released my first song like when I was in my SS1. I was 13 then. So like it was just like, a lot of music throughout that time up until university. I became very popular in school in the uni because I was out grinding at all these events, all this competition stuff, and I won a competition at my department, which was what like made me very popular. And that was in my first year in school. Um, so fast forward to now, Don Jazzy discovered me on Instagram. Um, I know it's cliche now because everybody's getting discovered on Instagram. But yeah, that was very much, how it happened.
That's the power of social media. It's amazing, of course. And I definitely want to delve into the fact that you said that you was in a rap group. Can you tell us more about this? Because I don't think a lot of people know that about you.
Yeah, yeah. So like that was one of those funny things that that happened to me. It wasn't funny because it really shaped me. It made me want to go back home and write music, to impress my guys when I come back, to school next day. So those were things that really developed, my writing, my early writing. Um so then it was like a joke thing. Then we used to perform at each, like we used to have classes in school then. So we'll go to the classes and be like, we want to rap for you guys. Then that was like it was just funny, you know. So but
Okay, so
then
it boosted your confidence.
yeah, 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 yeah. It does something to you and it makes you want to do more, you know. So but then I started I've been doing my thing solo before I met these guys in class because they were listening to Rick Ross and Meek Mill. So so
Okay.
yeah, so it was I didn't know about Rick Ross then. So like joining them, I started learning then I was a full-blown rapper when I was in school, when I was in the uni. I never really used to drop like singing songs. I was more of a rapper in school. I was known for rapping in school. So but then I always knew like my strength was singing, you
Right.
know. So yeah,
That's sick. And can you still play any instruments to this day?
definitely, definitely. I just need to get a hang of it. Maybe like a day rehearsal or 2 days rehearsal, and I'll be back fully.
Just practice a little bit. Okay, so I definitely
Yeah,
want to congratulate you on your latest releases, Colors and
yeah.
Loyal, which I both love personally. I am dying
Thank
to
you.
know, how do you feel about the reception so far? Like, have you been keeping an eye out on what the fans have been reacting like?
Definitely, definitely. I think people pivoted towards colors the most. Um, and that's fine, that's okay. And we're still promoting the songs. Um, Hoping to shoot a video for colors soon and quickly, you know. And I've loved the reaction towards colors a lot, even though Loya has been sidelined a bit, but then we're feeding into it, we're getting people to know more about it. But I expected it because sometimes, not even sometimes, most times when you drop two songs, people always want to pick one song, and be like, this is the one we like, So yeah, it's cool, and I've been enjoying it all the way.
Perfect. I definitely wanted to
Yeah.
ask about your track, Loyal, and just delve a little bit into that. So I know in the
Mm,
chorus, you kind of reference a woman that's kind of interested in you for your money. I just wanted to,
mm.
at your current like status, do you think that it's a bit more difficult for you to date now that you're a public figure?
Yeah, it's been very, very difficult for me. I won't lie, because it's not because these people are not true, but you don't know who is true. There are a lot of true people, but you don't know who is true. You know, it makes you doubt so many people, even people who have been with you like for a long time. You start questioning people's loyalty. I think it's a normal thing. But also I've learned not to overthink life, because it's natural for people to be attracted to a beautiful woman. So why shouldn't people be attracted to you because you're now famous? So I think it won't make any sense to base your giving back to them, lesser, you feel me? Because it's just a normal thing. If you like someone, if you like a girl because she's fine, why shouldn't she like you because you're popular? So I think it's just fair. So I don't overthink it anymore. But before I used to think about it, but now I just let it flow.
Okay, I think that's a very
Yeah.
valid point, and I've not heard a lot of people speak from that perspective. That's really insightful. I do,
Yeah.
I do also want to ask, how do you differentiate then who's kind of genuine and who's not?
You don't know.
You don't. Okay.
Yeah, you don't know. Trust me, man. Some
Okay.
people would some people would even draw a tattoo of your face on their body. I still kill you.
Right.
You
Yeah.
feel me? So yeah, that's real.
It's
That's
real
real.
stuff, for
Yeah,
sure.
people will do anything to survive. You feel me? So you just pray to God and hope that, you know, the ones around you, like they are here for a long time, and they truly want to get to somewhere, positively with you, and not try to bring you down. And also, let's be frank with ourselves. Like, let's be real. Like, is there really like true love? Like, what I mean true love, is there really someone that loves you that doesn't seek to benefit anything from you?
Hmm.
Let's be honest, that's only your mother. Like, even your mother wants to benefit something from you sometimes. But like, what I'm saying is, like, there's really no, if you truly think about it. You
So
feel
you
me?
think a
So I
lot of love is like conditional then?
yeah, love is in every situation. It's always conditional. 98% of the time, it's conditional.
Okay, it's really, really
Yeah.
interesting. I definitely agree as well. I think uncle comes from your mother mainly, and possibly only your mother. I do know that you have three sisters. Has this like influenced your perspective on women and how you view them?
So for me, I feel like, so where I'm coming from, it's not like we really have, it's not like we have money, you know. So 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 me coming up and, I started making money, you know. it made me want to take care of everyone, because I realized that girls don't really have anybody to go to.
Right.
They always need men nowadays want to always take advantage,
Mm.
even in giving them the slightest opportunity, they always want to, you know, be more than friends with them, so it made me very, very it turned me to a father figure, kind of, you know.
Right. A
So in
provider.
the sense that I'm always looking out for, what they want, what they need, So I'm like, Alpha, are you okay? So that they don't feel like they're in this alone. You know, I'm always reaching out to them because sometimes you just need someone who is there for you every time. Especially girls. So yeah, it made me more protective. Let me just use that word.
I think that's beautiful. I think that there's beauty in being a provider. A lot of people
Yeah.
rear away from like tradition and the man being the breadwinner and whatnot. But I do think there's beauty in
Mm,
honesty, and I think that's amazing. On a
yeah.
lighter note, I do have to be cheeky and ask what your relationship status is. Can the girls know if you're single? Are you dating? Are you focusing on yourself? What's going on?
Me, I'm actually quite single. Yeah, I'm
Quite
single.
single.
I'm single because it's not like I haven't seen girls, but like somehow I just feel like I'm not the type that can handle it right now, you
Mm,
know. I genuinely feel like I'm not the type that can handle my career and a relationship right now. Not like I can't handle it, but not right now because I feel like I'm in a very delicate place in my career. I'm if I'm being genuine with myself, I'm not all in yet.
right.
I'm like, I'm still trying to climb up, and I'm still trying to get, to a certain level before I can be like, okay, I think now I can handle girl problem because
Right.
that's real. You feel
Okay.
me?
And do you
You
want to
know.
settle down one day and like have a wife and kids?
Um, I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't know.
Be
I'm just being
announced
genuine.
further.
I
Hopefully we
don't
can
know.
catch up in like 5 years and I'll ask you the same question.
Right? But like, yeah, but like that's what I just don't know, man. But I hope so, you
Right.
know. I hope so. Because I think someone amazing can just sweep you off your feet, you know. But like I've met a few people that I feel like I want to get married to them, you know. And after like 2-3 weeks, I'm like, where did this feeling go to? So like it's crazy.
And I did hear you. I think it was on another interview reference that these days you do feel like a lot of conversations, like romantically, don't have substance. Is that something that kind of makes you lose interest? Someone that doesn't really have a lot of substance to themselves?
Yeah, like so like when I talk to people, I honestly always feel like I don't want to be smarter than you.
Right.
Yeah, I never want to be with someone that I'm smarter than. I always want someone that keeps me on my toes, you know. I don't want to always be the one to tell you something. I want to learn from you.
Hmm.
So when I find out that I'm the one who is always bringing light to conversations, I
Right.
will get bored quickly. But like I want someone who is mentally like, not someone who's trying to not be feminine, because there's a thin line between, a girl losing her femininity, and like overly doing it, and you
Right.
just lose your beauty. Because a lot of girls nowadays just want to be boys,
Right.
or and that's unattractive. Men don't want girls that want to compete with them.
Yeah.
Men actually want someone who is you know, smart enough to know when to balance things out, you know. So when I find that, I think I actually I've seen it quite a few times, but like it's it's like a combination of everything you want sometimes, but sometimes you can't get exactly what you want. So sometimes you might have to build someone into it, or you have to love someone like that. and grow with them. So yeah, substance is very important aside from fine face, because
No, I definitely agree. And I think someone adding value
yeah,
to you and you doing the same is really, really important.
yeah,
So that's a great point. I definitely want to throw it a little bit back to last year, where you had, your hit single "Love Don't Cost a Dime," which was a
yeah.
massive success. I wanted to know, like, have you felt any pressure, or do you feel any pressure to kind of make a song that tops that?
Um, so I never felt like I never felt any pressure, but this game there's pressure. You
Right,
feel me? It's undeniable, but you have to know that it comes with this. Like it's coming. Like you have to already know, and if you don't know, you need to know that
for the win.
whatever you're doing in life, if you want to be the best at it, you have to deal with pressure. And part of me dealing with pressure is working every day, making sure that if the devil is trying to throw me a curveball, I'm working. Do you understand? Yeah, part of it is working hard. That's the only way to beat the pressure. Whenever I'm at home, whenever a day passes by and I don't do something towards my career, I feel like I'm failing already. Do you
Right,
understand? So like the only way to keep up with the pressure for me is to work. If I'm not in the studio, maybe I'm shooting a content, maybe I'm trying to do a video, I'm trying to do photo shoot, or trying to do something that is going to add up to my music. You feel me? So that's the way I deal with my own pressure. But I've not really had pressure to top Love Don't Cost a Dime, because I feel like that's going to come like
right,
anytime soon. Like it's not it's Love Don't Cost a Dime is Love Don't Cost a Dime. I can make tons of that kind of music. You
right.
know, I wrote it myself, so like it came from me, so I can do it anytime I want to do it. So, but like it's also God's gift to understand that wisdom. You know, try to do other things. You know, have to be broad as possible as an artist. Do diverse stuff. Show yourself in different patterns. So, but I never have pressure towards like topping up because of that.
Great.
Yeah.
I've realized that you talk about your faith a lot. You do mention God a lot. So I wanted to know, does that definitely help you through this journey of like fame and your career?
For me, like I've always been a believer of God. You know, I'm not a very religious. Okay. So like I was in church a lot when I was growing up, and I felt like every time I had issues, then God comes through for me. You
Right.
know, and I feel like I've seen my life in the vision before, and I feel like I've seen it all before. Like I've seen my life before. You
Right.
know, each time I cross a stage, I've seen it before in my head. Like each time before I got my admission to the university, I already saw it in the dream. Like I always feel like I always have a moment in the future
Right.
that I see and I work towards it. It's like a vision. It's
Like
not the
manifestation of
exact
some
thing.
sort.
Yeah, but like God always sees me through. And I think that can only work if you have faith. And faith only comes from believing in God strongly. So not just believing in God, you can believe in anything. Or like God has a stake in whatever you are doing. So yeah, I believe solely in God. Only God fear now now.
We love a God-fearing man, we do. I think that's
Yeah.
amazing. Definitely looking at a higher power and, having a vision and manifesting such, which it seems like you have done. I definitely want to get into a comment that you've made before. So you said that even though you are happy for the accolades that you get, such as like awards, they don't define who you are. So I definitely want to ask, how do you measure success then?
So before now, I used to think like I used to want to be like I used to want to be like I used to want to be a god.
Right,
Like I always wanted to be a god in whatever I do. Like
right.
you know, and I'm not like I've come to settle for less.
Okay.
But ever since I realized that like providing for my family, you know, gives me so much joy. Like seeing the smile on my dad's face, the joy in his voice when he calls me and be like, thank you, for supporting the family. Like that is my biggest, um, that's my biggest joy. My biggest joy as well comes from like, people who genuinely rock with my music, people who really like, appreciate the kind of music that I make because take it or leave it, everybody cannot like you, even if you are Jesus Christ. You
Right.
feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So just understanding that and focusing on the positive side, of people who genuinely work with my music and share my music and tell other people about my music gives me the most joy. So I think those are the things that like that is success to me now, you know.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Just enjoying what I do.
I think that's really great. I definitely want to get into my next question. So you have
Mm,
said previously, and you do talk about your family a lot and the background that you come from, and you do say that
mm.
it shaped you to be very like confident and firm as to who you are. I want to know, like, does this kind of solid foundation influence the decisions that you make in your career and like the potential next steps that you take?
Some decisions are made on dumb impulses,
Right.
you know,
Happens.
and their it's not like those sometimes doesn't really have a spiritual backing or spiritual foundation. For example, like I went to Unilag because I thought if I go to Unilag, I'm going to blow up from there.
Right.
Like yes, it's not like everybody that went to Unilag blew up.
Right.
I just had to be delusional enough to believe that if I go to Unilag, I'm going to blow up.
Right.
And
It
it
happens.
didn't happen in school, but it happened through school. You
Exactly.
feel me? So like those things sometimes we just make these decisions like off like, vibes and inshallah. You feel me?
Vibes and
So you just
that's the new
yeah,
motto.
just yeah, like so it's not always like that. It's not always like that. But
Okay.
sometimes God puts those things in our mind, and we think it's us that is trying to do all those things. So it's also possible like that everything is God's construction and simulation.
It's great. I do want to ask, obviously you are very wise. Do you read?
Nah, I don't read. I
Okay.
used to read,
You used
but
to.
like I don't read.
Okay, what kind of books did you used to read? I'm curious to know.
Like I don't like reading.
Just writing, just writing, no reading.
Yeah, I don't read, man. I don't read.
Okay. You know
So
what? You
like
got to ask
so
these things
okay,
because you
so
sound so wise and you come from like when the way you speak, it sounds like a self-development book almost. Like you're very, very wise and insightful. So I was curious to know.
I think it's just personal experiences.
Right.
Yeah. Just
Amazing.
personal experiences and life is information basically. Like you
Mhm.
can't you can't give what you don't already have. Like each and every one of us like is a representation of the information we've received. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like if I was born in Canada right now, I'll
Okay.
be able to have a Canadian accent. Doesn't make me smarter than the person that was born in Nigeria. The only difference is I was lucky enough to be exposed to that information. You
Right.
feel me? It's not because I'm smarter than you. I was just born there. So most people who have wise information is not because they are the wisest, but they are lucky enough to have or have been exposed to that information.
Yep. And the environments as well. I definitely
Yeah, but yeah. So I think it's just experience
Okay, that's sick.
and exposure.
Yeah, for sure. Exposure to different environments and experience.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
divert the topic a bit. So obviously, I know that you're quite creative. I do want to know how much like involvement you have in your creative process in terms of like picking visuals for like your EP covers, your music videos, like how hands-on are you in the process?
So like when I started off, like I was very, very, very I was always very involved, in all these things. Then at a point, I think I just tried to allow some people, you know, do it for me. And the way it went, I hated it. So since then, anything I'm putting out, like even down to the picture, even down to the last picture I posted on my Instagram, I edited it myself.
Yeah.
Like I edited the picture myself. So like I'm very intentional about even the video I posted, I still edited it. Like so like because I realized that like if you don't if you're not there, people will just because it's people's ideology, you feel me? It's other people's how they see you or how they think you should look like in their head. So when they are painting the picture of you, it's always going to look like what they think. So right now the picture I'm painting now is the picture of who I am, how
Right.
I view myself. So like I'm very hands-on now. There was a time I did it, I didn't like it. So now, even down to my everything, to my jeans, even the jeans I wear,
Everything.
I
Stylist, social
swear,
media manager, it's all you.
everything, though, bro. Like, I'm
No, I
not,
love that.
I'm not taking no chances. You
Yeah,
said?
I think it's great to be hands-on, especially because people receive you as a brand. So it's important
Yeah,
for you to depict yourself in the correct way.
yeah. So,
Yeah, for
even
sure.
down to the color of my car, safe.
I love that. I literally love that for you. Honestly, don't need no employees. You're the social media manager, you're the
Yeah,
director, you're
so,
everything.
I'm everything, bro. I'm everything.
That's it.
Cause,
I definitely
yeah,
want to ask, you are about to go on tour. Obviously, big up
yeah.
you. Hopefully you come to the UK as well on the O2 and Manchester Arena.
Definitely, definitely, man.
Definitely. What can the audience like anticipate from this tour in comparison to your prior performances?
Come again.
What can the audience and the crowd like anticipate from this new tour compared to your old performances?
So like I realized that before I used to perform, you know, a little bit static, and I've improved on that.
Okay. Yeah.
So a better experience, definitely. A way better experience. Um, Hoping to perform a live band, if we have like,
Okay.
some smooth live music for people. I definitely want to interact with like my fans, people that are like out there, that support my music on this tour. It's going to like super, super, super nice to meet them because you just see all these numbers, you just see all these 10,000 people listen to your song in South Africa, 30,000 people listen to your song in Kenya, and you wonder who these people are. They are real people. So meeting them, it's going to be inspiring.
Yeah, I think
You know,
it's definitely more of a raw experience when you see the people physically there in front.
yeah. Like
And
it
I must
makes it
say,
makes it it makes it make sense.
And I must say, the Kenyans love you. Like I was reading through I'm Kenyan myself as well, and
Oh,
I was reading through like all the YouTube comments, and Kenya is riding for you, Magixx. They really are.
appreciate that. I
Yeah.
appreciate. I
I
appreciate
know,
that.
I know that you graduated from the University of Lagos, and
Yeah.
I wanted to know like what advice do you have for like upcoming artists who are also balancing studying at the same time? Because I'm assuming you've been through that yourself.
Um. So for me, I didn't go to school to study. I went to school to pursue my music, and part of having a determination is knowing that you might not succeed in everything, but whatever you put your mind to, if you don't succeed, you almost succeed.
Right.
There's no way you not succeed if you put your mind to something.
Yeah.
Like this, there's no way. Everybody used to think that this opportunity here is scarce. Like this opportunity is very scarce. Guess what? It's not scarce. It's
Mm.
right in front of you. But
Right.
because the world has allowed you to think that you have to struggle, you have to work very hard to get it, you will now distance what you can grab right in front of you with your imagination by distancing it and thinking it's far. Whatever you believe in your heart, so is what is going to happen to you. You feel me?
Definitely
The
agree.
more you attract, the more you believe in something, the faster you attract it. If you believe you are going to be a billionaire by 25, you can be a billionaire by 25. Depends on how strong your faith is. Because the people who are billionaires by 25, they didn't wake up to $75 million in their account
Yeah.
or a billion in their account. It's because they've been able to manage the money in their head. That's why they have it. If they've not conquered it, they won't have it. You
Correct.
can't have what you've not conquered.
With that being said, do you feel like to become the person that you really want to be, you have to start acting like that person like from now?
Yeah. Like believe it. If you're managing, if you're in school and you're doing music and you believe you can do it, you have to manifest it in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Like just see yourself doing both of them at the same time. But see yourself doing one more.
That's true. Honestly, people don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Like, I was a student
Yeah,
myself.
but
The balance, you've always got to prioritize one.
like let me tell you something there. The reason why footballers make so much money, I always feel like it's because they dedicate their life to it.
Mm.
You know, when you dedicate so much time to something, you become a genius. Nobody was born a genius. It's just because I practiced it so much. You now start seeing genius because you don't know how much hours I put into this.
Yeah. I definitely agree. It's very
Yeah.
insightful.
So
I
like
sorry, go on.
just focus on it. Focus on that. If you want to do two of them, focus. Just yeah. Give it
Focus.
your time. Give it your time. Like you'll get it. Give give it your all. There's no how. There's no how. Now that there's even internet again. There's no how, bro. Like,
And everything happens in divine timing is something that I personally
yeah,
believe.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, also like patience. Patience. Like there was a time, yeah. There was a time I used to tell myself that I was supposed to be the biggest artist when I'm already like 19. Cause I wanted to be in my head, I felt like I was going to be the biggest artist when I'm 19. That was
Right.
when since I was like 14 years old. So
Right.
like in my head, I was already a superstar. So the way I used to act in school, people used to look at me like, is this guy popular somewhere and we don't know about it? You know. Then I became popular in school, so it's just in manifesting like that thing. When you believe something so much, you start acting like it, and people around you start believing it too. You feel me?
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that making sure, like you said before, that you're very delusional about what you want and not letting
Yeah.
outside voices steer you away from that, having to be like firm, I think is really important.
People, 80% of the outside voices are people who doubt themselves.
Mm.
Yeah, it's people that don't believe they can do it. You know.
Projection.
Yeah, so they want to project what they feel like they can't do on you because their mind has been limited. So they don't want you to get it.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Very, very
Mm.
insightful. And I do want to finish it on this note. What has been like the most defining moment of your career so far?
Um, Defining moment of my career. Personally, personally, I think I think it was Lord and Costa Dime for me. The way it went. Um, not so far, but not how it's going to be. But personally, inside my life defining moment for my career, I think is my dad, praying for me, my mom being happy, about this the how far we are going, with everything. He used to be like a very stubborn person with me. Like he never wanted me to skip school or go and work somewhere because I want to make some chicken change as salary. He never wanted me to do any of those things. So he always wanted me to like he always wanted me to like finish school. So him seeing the success of like the music, Don Jazzy signing me, to the label, that was like a very, very, satisfying moment because they are still alive. My parents are still alive, So for them to witness that, was, I think, is one of the best feelings.
Amazing. And lastly, what can the fans expect from you this year?
As you can see now in the
Yes.
studio,
Grinding
I'm trying
every
to
day.
work.
We love it.
Yeah, not every day, oh, some days.
Balance.
But yeah, when I'm in the
Balance.
studio, I'm in the studio. When I'm in the studio, I'm in the studio. When I'm doing other things, I'm doing other things. So definitely this year, I want to collaborate with more people, because that's another way to reach new audiences. I want to travel more. I want to connect with people out there who are already enjoying the music I make, reach new people. I want to put out like tons of songs. I wish I can put out tons of songs. I want to put out a lot of songs this year, and I'm working towards it. Um, yeah, maybe I'm married too.
So now he wants to get married. Now he wants to get married, guys.
I'm just joking.
Okay, so thank you so much for your time. It was actually an honor speaking
Yeah,
with you. I'm Ruth from Pi Radio, and that was the interview with Magixx. You've been amazing, and I wish you all the best, genuinely.
thank you so